Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is that time of week, that time of day. Once again, I'm streaming to you live here from cloudy Atlanta, Georgia. Um, Working from home. Hope you're working from home. Hope if you're not even working from home, that you're somewhere safe and that you are sheltering or staying in place and kind of limiting your social activities and practicing social distancing. And I hope everyone watching this, whether you're watching this live or on a replay, is in good health and good spirits and keeping yourselves busy and keeping yourselves creatively engaged. So with that said, today we're going to just do a quick one. I always say that. It's never quick. Hopefully it will be. We're going to do a quick one around master pages. So, hey, John, welcome. Victoria, welcome. Colleen from South Africa, always welcome. Glad to have you here. Thomas and MTM and Valder, always great to have you here. And I see some folks lurking over on LinkedIn as well. If you guys want to chime in, you can. If not, you're free to just watch in silence. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into today's topic. I was like thinking, what am I going to talk about today with InDesign? And it was actually something that I thought, have I never done a stream just dedicated to master pages? And I can't remember the last time I did, if I have done one. So I've talked about master pages on every stream that had something to do with master pages, but never really talked about them from the standpoint of someone wanting to know all about master pages and what they would use them for and when they would use them and what separates InDesign from Photoshop and Illustrator, master pages. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. I'll switch over to my desktop so you guys can see where I am. I've got InDesign already open as I like to have it open, but no new document open. And I've even got the welcome screen open from my last how to get started with InDesign. But we're going to go ahead and just click Create New. Now, when you create new, it doesn't, master pages are not based on any particular size, document type, or any of that. It has nothing to do with whether it's for print, web, or mobile. Master pages are handy no matter what kind of page you're laying out. If you're laying out more than one page. If you're only laying out one page, nah, you don't really need master pages. But if you're laying out 2 or 200 or 2,000, then yes, master pages can be very handy. So I'm going to go ahead and go to print. We'll do our standard 8.5.11, but this time we'll make it wide. We'll say no facing pages. We'll say that, let's say we want to make 100 pages. We usually do like 12 or 8. Let's just really crank it up to 100 pages so you can really start to see why master pages matter. We'll go ahead and add some columns. Actually, do I want columns? Yeah, let's go ahead and add some columns. Let's go ahead and do 5 columns for this. And we'll just go ahead and click create. Actually, since we're doing wide, we can do more than that. Let's do seven columns. All right, so let's go ahead and create that document. And that will give us our 100 pages. And if I were to zoom out, you start to see them all, and they just scroll on and on and on and on and on, all the way down to page 100. That's great. So really have a nice long document here. Of course, we're not going to work on all 100 pages, but we're going to work on master pages. Now, what are master pages for those of you who are new? I'm going to tear off the pages panel because we're going to work on it kind of quite a bit here. So let me go ahead and just tear that off. Keep that handy. Get rid of the other ones for now. And you have 2 types of pages in the pages panel. You have your document pages. So this is the 1 through 100. And you've got this area up here at the top, which is called the master pages area. So you have you have one master page by default, and then you have the option for none. So your document pages are numbered 1, 2, 3, so forth and so on. Your master pages are numbered or labeled A, B, C, D, so forth and so on. And you can change the names of them, and you can make them custom names so that they make more sense to you. So for example, if I were to, let's go into the page attributes here. Actually, that's not what I want. I want to go into master page options for A. There we go. If I go into master page options for A, this is where I can go ahead and make the name. So I can say default master. Let's just call it that. All right, so you can change the name to whatever you want, and then that becomes the name. So, because eventually A master, B master, C master, D master, you might lose track of what each master's for. If you only have one or two, pretty easy to keep track of them. But if you start creating multiple masters, which I just alluded to that you could, then naming them might be a good idea. All right, so we got our default master page. And what do we want on our default master page? Well, maybe we want the title of our document on every page. So that's kind of what a master page would be for. Instead of you having to copy and paste it 100 times, you put it on one page and it's replicated throughout. So see that A in front of my default master, that A right there? Remember A, B, C, D? Well, you'll also notice on the document pages, there's an A on every single one, letting you know right off the bat, if you don't do anything else, all your pages are using the A master by default. So if you don't change a thing, whatever you put on the A master will automatically be on all your pages. So for example, if I were to double click on the A master, double click on it. So now I'm actually editing that page. There is no page 2, there is no page 3. I'm only on that one master. And if I were to create a text frame that goes across the entire page, like so, and I were to make a title that said how to work with master pages in Adobe InDesign, and I were to center that. Now, without doing anything else, if I were to go to page 1, it's on page 1. If I were to go to page, scroll down, 37, it's on page 37. If I were to go all the way down to 100, it's on page 100. And yes, it would print on all 100 pages. So it's a quick way for you to easily, fast, put anything you want, logos, text, automatic page numbers, whatever you, graphics, whatever you want on every single page. So that's a quick way to do it. So for example, what do I mean by graphics? Well, if we go back to that A master, and we're working on an A master now, and I were to say, well, in the first column of every page, I want a blue frame. So our blue box or blue rectangle. I'm just going to make that blue rectangle, or make the rectangle and then we'll fill it with blue. Let's just make it cyan, and there we go. So now that is on all, and you can already see it in the preview. That's on all 100 pages. So it's on page 1, it's on page 5, it's on page 100, all the way down. So that's what master pages, in a nutshell, are for right off the bat. Being able to quickly and easily put something on multiple pages. Then the questions start to come up. What if I don't want it on every page? Like maybe I want the rectangle to be in the first column, but I want it to change in color on each section. So maybe pages 1 through 10 would be blue. Pages 11 through 20 would be red. Pages so forth and so on would be so forth and so on. So let's get rid of the rectangle for now, and we'll see a way to bring it back. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it off the master page, gone. And therefore it's now gone on 1 through 100. Now, before I go any further, there's another aspect of master pages that's important to know. What if I made a typo? What if I said how to work with master pages, and just for the sake of example, I needed a capital W on work for whatever reason? Well, okay, I can go and, no, you can't. You can't click on the things that are on a master page on your regular document pages. So I'm on page 1. If I go to page 2, I can't click on it. You can only edit master page items on the master page that they appear on. So if I go to master page A and I double click that now I can change that to be a W and make that capital W for work. And now it's replicated across the board. So that's the first rule of master pages, or first and second rule. They appear on all the pages that use that master. They are, by default, uneditable on the individual document pages. We're going to talk about a way to break that rule in a minute. All right, so next, let's put one more thing on the master, and because this is another common thing that people want to do, and then we'll talk about how to break some of these rules. So the other thing that you might want on a master page, let's go back to the masters, you might want the page numbers. So I'm going to put the page number in the bottom, and I'm going to make, again, a nice wide frame for the page number to go across the bottom of the page. And I'm going to center it. But how do I don't want to type a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I don't want to type the page numbers. I want InDesign to figure that out for me. So InDesign has lots of special characters that would allow you to quickly and easily put your page number or whatever you want across multiple pages. And we talked about this on a previous stream, this aspect. So if I go to my type menu, I can come down to Insert Special Character, Markers, Current Page Number. So there's even a keyboard shortcut for that. So it looks like Command-Shift-Option-N would automatically insert the current page number wherever your cursor is. Now when I do that, watch what happens. It puts an A there, not a 1, not a 2, not a 3, because we're not on page 1, 2, or 3. We're on the A master. If we were on the B master, it'd put a B there. All right, so now if I were to get out of that and go to page 1 is numbered. And if I go all the way down to page 100 is numbered. They're all quickly and easily numbered without me having to lose my mind. Put a 1 and put a 2 and put a 3 and put a 4 in on every single page. Because if you do it manually, that's where you're just leaving yourself open for errors. You'll forget a number, you'll get distracted, you'll lose count, you'll double the number, so forth and so on. And thank you, Joselo. I'm bad at pronouncing names, so hopefully I got your name right. I think it was Joselo. Thank you for that. And social tester, that's perfect to learn. Yep. This is a perfect place to learn while you're social distancing. Okay, so now let's talk about having that second master page with the blue and the red and the so forth and so on rectangle. Then we'll talk about breaking the rules. So I don't want to have to change the rectangle on the master for every section. I don't want to have to do it manually either. So how can I do this? Well, what I could do is I could create a new master. Let's just create, right-click, new master. So I'm just telling it to give me a new master. I'm going to even call this blue rectangle, so I know what that master is for. Now, there's one caveat to this. Not only can I create a new master, but there's one extra option I want to pay attention to in this dialog box. Based on. Based on master, right now it would be none. So right now if I were to click OK, I would just get a blank master page. But there are things on the A master page I would still want on the pages with the blue rectangle. I still want the title. I'd still want the page number. I'd still want all those other things, and I don't want to have to keep recreating those. So master pages can have a parent-child type relationship that allows you to not have to recreate everything for every single master. So I'm going to say base it on the A master. So in other words, give me this new master page I can do whatever I want with, but give me also the same stuff that's already on master page A. So now I'll click OK, and it will, if I zoom out, it'll give me exactly that. It gave me on master page B, and it even has a little A on it to let me know that that master page is based on the A master. So it's giving me the little B, by the way, for the page number. It's giving me the same title that's across the board. If I ever want to change the title, I go change it on A where it exists. Hey, Lisa. And I would go ahead and now design this page any way I want. So since this is the blue rectangle master, I can now go back in and make that blue rectangle. So let's just go ahead and we're just making stuff up as we go along. So in this first column, we're going to go ahead and make that a blue rectangle. So we'll just use cyan. All right, so now we got the blue rectangle, and here's a quick pop test, pop quiz. Are any of my pages going to have the blue rectangle on them? Well, I kind of gave it away because you don't see it. Like, you don't see it on any of the pages yet. If I go to page 1, no blue rectangle. If I go to page whatever, 55, no blue rectangle. How come I don't have a blue rectangle on any of the pages? And rather than wait for you to answer, I'll answer it for you. It's because none of those pages use B. All 100 pages use A. So I could drag the B master on top of one of the pages, like page 2, Now page 2 is going to have the blue rectangle because page 2 is using the B master. So that's how masters work. So if I go to page 2, it's got the blue rectangle and the page number and the title. If I go to page 1, it's only got the title and the page number. If I go to page 3, it's only got the title and the page number. It does not have any of those. Now, what I've never tried is to see if we could do these, all at once. So what I'm doing here is, remember I gave you the example, I want pages 1 through 19 or 1 through 10. Yeah, 1 through 10 to have the blue rectangle. So if I go in, what I've never tried to do all at once, yeah, you can select multiple pages and say, apply the blue rectangle to pages 1 through 10. Now pages 1 through 10 have the blue rectangle and page 11 does not. Because page 11 is going to have the red rectangle. And let's go ahead and create that master now. So all we're going to do is we're going to right click, new master. We're going to say that master page C is the red rectangle. And it's still based on page A because we don't want it to have a blue rectangle. We just want the title and the page number. So now we click OK. It does not have a red rectangle yet. We're going to go ahead and make that. Let's grab our rectangle tool and we'll just go ahead and create a rectangle and we'll fill it with red. All right, so now that one's got the red rectangle, and again, none of the pages have that because none of the pages are based on C. Okay, so let's select pages 11 through 20. There we go. Apply the master to those pages. We're going to apply master page C, and now all of those pages have a red rectangle, and all of those pages have the title. All the pages have the title. All the pages have the page number. Pages 1 through 20, or 1 through whatever I said, 1 through 10 have the blue rectangle. Pages 11 through 20 have the red rectangle. That's how masters work. What about copying a master page? What about copying a master page? Copying what? Give me more. For what reason? You can copy the items on a master page. I think you can duplicate a master page. You can do those kinds. Yep, you can duplicate a master. You can copy the items on it. So it depends on what your end game is. What are you trying to copy it for? Okay, so now let's answer some of those questions that always tend to pop up. What if I decide to now have my page numbers instead of in the bottom and the center, I want them in the bottom on the right? How do I fix that? Well, where are the page numbers? The page numbers are on the A master. So if I go to the A master, I can now go to that page number and I can just simply right align it. So now it's on the right side and that fixes it on all 100 pages. All 100 pages now have the page number on the right side no matter what master they're using because all the masters use master page A. Yep, you can duplicate a master page. Just right click on it and choose duplicate. All right, so now the next question that people would tend to want to know, especially if you're making a book or something, a lot of people don't want a number on the first page. It's just like you wouldn't want it on the cover. You wouldn't want it on page 1. It's just a common thing people don't want. So there's 2 ways, well, technically 3. There's two ways you'd get rid of it. One, you could just create a master that doesn't have page number. Simple enough. Create a new master, call it no page number, put all the other elements on it, and away you'd go. That's one way. I wouldn't do it that way though, because if that was the only thing I wanted to take off was that one thing on page 1, I'm probably not going to waste time making a whole new master just for that one page. Because again, what did I say up front? We make master pages for 2 or more pages. So if I had a bunch of pages that weren't going to have page numbers, then I would absolutely make the new master that didn't have page numbers so I could use it sporadically throughout the document. But if I only just want to take off the page number off that one page, and remember, I can't click on it. I can't, hang on, let me go to my selection tool. I can't click on it. I can't move it. I can't hide it. So some people will draw a white box over it to cover it up. The old whiteout way. We don't want to do it that way either. That's just digitally wrong. So how do we get rid of it? So that would be a fourth way. How do we get rid of it off this page? Well, there's a secret. If you want to unlock the master items individually on a single page, you can do that with holding down two keys. So Mac, Command Shift, PC, Control Shift, and that will allow you to unlock the master item that you click on. So if I hold down Command Shift and click on that page number only on page 1, it's unlocked now. I see the frame. I can do whatever I want. So I could actually delete it. Have I affected anything else? No. Page 2 still has page number. The master page still has the page number. I've only simply said on this one page, I don't want this one thing from master page B, which is the one with the blue rectangle. So if I go to page 2, it's still page 2. It still has a number on it. If I go to page whatever, they're still all numbered. If I go back to the blue master, it's still the blue master with a page number from the A master page. All of that's still intact. All you're doing is saying on this one instance, I want to change this one thing. Another example, maybe on the first page, I want my title in a different spot or bigger or different, whatever. So on this one page, again, Command Shift, click. I've unlocked that one thing from the master page. I have now said, make it left aligned on this one page. Nothing else gets affected when you do that. So then the question people, oh, and I did that on page 9. Sorry, let's undo all that. I didn't mean to do it on page 9. I meant to do it on page 1. There we go. So Command Shift click, and let's left align it, and there it is. Okay, so now that one page doesn't have a page number, and that one page has the title to the left. All the rest are to the right. What's your recommended column width when using grids? I don't have one. I don't necessarily subscribe to just one column width. It depends on what I'm working on. Good question. I don't have a recommendation. Whatever works for you is my recommendation. So I just personally don't have one. Okay, so that's how we would unlock an item. That's how we would change a single page to be different than what's on the master. But what if we change our mind? What if we say, ooh, I really didn't mean to take the page number off this page, and I really didn't mean to uncenter the title. How can I get that stuff back? Well, you'll notice that this still says it's master page B, even though we've wrecked it. We've taken some things off the master. But if we reapply master page B to that page, then we will get the ability to put it back. So for example, another easy way to reapply a master or change the master is simply drag the master back onto the page. When I drag the master back onto the page, then the master items come back. In other words, now I've just told it that's B again. It's going to have the page number. It's going to have the title in the center. And it's going to have everything else that B has. So you can always reapply a master even to a page that you have totally destroyed and totally messed with, and you can put it all back. All right. There's so much to talk about with master page. Like Colleen, what else is there that you want to talk about with master pages? So we kind of did a lot of things there. And of course, if you want to individually change it to a different master, let's say on page 1 you want it to be red, you would just drag the master page C over to it, and it's now red. Okay, when exporting a PDF for print, can you export the master pages? Master pages don't export separately. They're not a separate part of the document. So in other words, if I export this as a PDF, I'm going to get pages 1 through 100 or whatever I specify. I'm not going to get pages 1 through 100 and 3 master pages. Master pages only exist in InDesign. They're not pages that will print or export or come out of InDesign any other kind of way. If you wanted them, yeah, you'd have to make document pages. There's no way that they kind of export or print out. Okay, automatic text box. Sure, yes. Okay, so the question that you're asking, when you create a new document, you get the option to have a primary text frame. And so let's say for this new document, we'll just do 10 pages. And what that will do is I don't ever really use this option, But what that will do is that will create a text frame that's automatically on the master and therefore automatically on all the pages. And the reason I don't really use that is because there's rarely that I want a text frame that fills up my entire page on every page. Now, it's here, and I could go ahead and link them together, and I could do all that and fill it with text. That's what it's for. I just never use it. So you can absolutely, if you have a need for that, absolutely go ahead and do it. Can you master page a master? What does that mean? I've shown you how to use a master on another master page. I don't know what you mean by, oh, you mean can you turn a regular page into a master page? Maybe. Can you base a master page on a document page? I don't think so, but you can, of course, copy all the stuff that's on that page to a new master. Can I make a new master page from, yeah, I don't know of a way to do that other than just taking all the stuff and putting it on a master page that would be on that page. All right, one more thing. I just want to give you guys another example of when you start using templates. If you can tell more about the baseline grid and how to create and make text align to the grid, that would be a great help. Tell you what, we're already out of time. That's going to be a whole another session. So we can do a whole session on grids, guides, baseline grids, so forth and so on, because we're already at the end of this one. So I will take that as a topic suggestion for one of the upcoming streams. Great topic, just don't have time to cover it all right now. So we're going to do one more thing. Let's do a new document, but this time, instead of the new document creating from scratch, we're going to use a template. And I'm going to use this food magazine layout. This is a free template in InDesign. I just want to point out one thing in this is that when you use templates, in most cases, you get master pages. So I didn't create these. This was already in the template. So this template, not only did it have multiple master pages, it even named them so you would know what they all are, and it even based some on the other ones. So if I were to just go look at those masters just to get some ideas of what they're doing, this is just a simple master page with wide margins. This one is, narrow margins. This one's with wide margins. This one is with the title and section and page numbers. Great. And this one is 3 columns with that same section and page numbers. And this one is 2 columns. So they're even using their master pages to determine the number of columns. So you can use master pages for just about anything you can think of that you would want to be on 2 or more pages. That's the way to think about it. Please help. Please help with, let's see, to make this symbol. I can't see that symbol from here. Beginning of each page to make the text an auto flow with that symbol. To make this symbol appear at the beginning of each page and make the text auto flow after that symbol. Make this symbol beginning of each page. You could create a frame on your master page and put that symbol in it, but you can't have it both ways. Auto flow is only going to auto flow into an empty frame. It's not going to auto flow into a frame that's already got stuff in it. So the minute you link a frame to another frame for your auto flow, then you're going to have to lose that symbol. So you'd have to put that symbol on the master page separately, meaning put it in a frame all by itself, and then you could even design like a 1-line frame next to it and then link that to the bigger frame below it. That's the only way I can think of to cheat that so that you could have your symbol at the beginning of every page, have it all a link, have it auto flow, but still have that symbol, because you can't put it in the frame because then you wouldn't be able to link it. All right. How can you change this template? How do you change a template you purchase in Adobe stock? Change it in what way? Once you open it, you can do anything you want to it. So save it and change anything about it you want. So once I'm in this template, all the stuff that's here. Now, what you may be referring to is if you can't click on something or do something, it may be locked and it may be grouped. So you would have to unlock it. It could be locked out as an item on the page, or it could be locked on the layer. But once you're there, this is your template. You do whatever you want with it. You don't want this stuff, delete it. You want to change it, you want to change the size of it. The template is just literally a container of items. The other reason you might not be able to click on something is it may be on the master page. So if you download a template and you want to change it and you're having a problem getting to something, check A, is it on the master page? B, is it locked to the page, meaning locked so you can't move it? That's rare. C, is it on a layer that's locked? So check those three things and you should be able to change anything that's to do with a template. Is there a limit of the number of master pages you can make? Not that I've ever heard of. I've never run into, oh, I want to make one more master page and I can't. So I don't think there's a limit. If there is, it's probably the number of pages in the document. And I would even doubt that. So I don't know if there's a limit on the number of pages. There's a limit on the number of pages in the InDesign document, which is 9,999. So I don't think you're going to need that many masters. If you do, we probably have a different problem. All right, mix layer and master page. Again, you guys give me fragments. Is that a question? Mix layer and master page. I don't know what that means. You have layers that are document wide. Whatever you put on that layer is on that layer across the whole document. So that doesn't matter. I don't know what you mean by mixed layer and master page. All right. Anyway, we're out of time. This is great. Can you demonstrate, please, using any symbol? Again, okay, real quick. Any symbol. Let's just quickly talk about that. So once again, go to master. Actually, we'll go to that master. That's fine. We're on this master. There we go. Go to that master. We'll create a frame just with the symbol in it. So let's make it a copyright or a copyright symbol. So Option G gives me a copyright. That's in a frame all by itself. But like I said, I can't really expect to link that and have that be carried across other pages. Well, I could link that frame to another frame and still have that work. So let's try that. All right, so then I would create my next frame. Dun, 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 dun. Like so. And I would then create the next frame under that, like so, and make that one even bigger or whatever size it needed to be. And now I would link them together. This one linking to this one. So now those two are linked together. This one's independent. So now if I go to any page, that's all there. And now if I were to place text into this one, let's do a fill with placeholder text. Then it will link and it will be next to the symbol. So that would be the way I would do it if I had to have that symbol at the beginning of everything, but I wanted to have the freedom of placing text into linked frames on all the pages. That's the way to do it. Can I watch it later? I think you mean later, and yes, you can. As soon as I'm done, which is right now, you'll be able to watch the replay. Is it possible to request topics for live streams? Absolutely. I'm always looking for topics. Most of the things I do are from user-suggested topics. So Lois, you got something? Let us hear it. All right. With that said, cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Is it possible to have a back cover and a front cover as one spread? Yes. If you turn off the auto flow in the Pages panel, I forgot what it's called. If you turn off the allow selected spread or allow pages to shuffle, one of those options will let you put the two pages together in a single spread. All right. Is it possible to place text on all the pages? Well, what do you mean, place text on all the pages? Place text that you want to appear on all the pages? Do it on the master. Place text that you want in individual frames? Create the frames on the master? Then yes. So again, depends on your question. Can you do a class on EPUB and InDesign? I can, and I would have to do another one. But yeah, you can go watch the replay of the one I already did. Unless there's something specifically you want. 2-page monthly, weekly time planner pages. Okay, 2-page monthly, weekly time page planner. I don't know what that means. Okay, guys, I'm going to head out. If I missed your question, feel free. You can continue to post it on this video. I'll continue to look at them. But you got to be specific. I don't know what, like, that could mean 5 different things. I don't know exactly what part of it you're talking about. All right, cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.